Hello, and once again, we are live with the Modern Mystery School UK and EU podcast and YouTube channel. And today we are joined by another Dr. Kate. Hello, how are you?
Hello, good. How are you?
I'm so good. And I'm really excited to talk to you about the life activation. As most people know, it's one of my all-time favorite things.
Mm-hmm.
Many, many, many reasons. And, you have, this background being a doctor of psychology and such like, and so it's an interesting interesting place to come from, and then to receive the life activation. Can you share with us about your own experience, why you wanted the life activation, what it did or didn't do for you?
Yeah, so first of all, my background is in psychology. However, I studied all different types of healing methods throughout time. So hands-on healing methods, somatic approaches. And so it wasn't just like a study of the mind. And so for the life activation, I came into it not really knowing very much about it. Just I was told that that was kind of an initial thing that I could do. I thought I would try it. And when I did try it, what I was first impressed with was the quality of the healer that was providing the service. There was such an incredible energetic quality and a precision in the way that the practitioner stood in the practice. And having studied many different methods, I was just like, oh, wait a second here. There's something very special just in the delivery process, let alone the results. Now, the results were very like powerful, not necessarily in the sense of like, wow, okay, and everything changed. More like in the sense of that clarity of energy, how the depth to which I was able to connect while going through the healing, and then the strength of the holding after I received it.
I love that point, because people in the mystery school that go through healings are very highly trained.
Mhm.
Um, in that they've been through that process of first, they've had a life activation, then they've been initiated, so they know how to manage their own energy structure. And
Mhm.
then they receive the second step initiation, which obviously, showing the life activation, but also holding more light. So that is just amazing. You notice the quality even of the healer, and I 100% agree. 100% agree. There was a definite something different, and something that I felt safe, and I felt, oh, this feels really good, amazing. And so you had you had this life activation, and it's so true, isn't it? It's like not everything just magically, is
Mhm.
okay, but something happens, something happens.
Mhm.
What would you say about the life activation, and how it has supported you in your life, and in those times after? So not right the initial, but, kind of how it's unfolded.
Yeah, well, I was someone who received a life activation and said, oh, okay, I'm interested. What's next? And it happened to be that I moved to Empower Thyself within a week after the life activation. And so, having taken that next step so soon, I didn't really get to see a lot of the unfolding of just the life activation. So, part of my experience with that unfolding with just the life activation has been when I have done it with clients. And they have a different trajectory than I do. And so I'm able to see through their experience what the life activation itself does. And I would say that the results are very varied based on where the person is in their path. So some people see dramatic, very obvious changes right off the bat. They basically they walk out of the room and something has changed for them. and or they report, here, this is this part of my life changed. Like one woman said, she's like, all of a sudden I had problems with sleep, and then I was sleeping great afterwards, right? Like things like that. Sometimes people's lives make a big shift. So sometimes it's much more immediate and obvious. Sometimes it's more subtle, where there's a change that happens, but that it's more like a change to the baseline. And the person doesn't necessarily recognize it like, wow, all these things have changed in my life. But somehow there's something that they can feel that like kind of got plugged in at the baseline that's allowing them a greater, I would say, like energetic clarity, foundation, strength as they move forward. And they're recognizing, okay, I can see that something got filled in here that was really needed for me. And then that interests them in learning more, in taking receiving more healings, or in learning more about the spiritual path.
It's so interesting, isn't it? Because, with the life activation, it can be like that you immediately want to go to that next step. And it sometimes that's the power of the life activation. It's like, oh, I just want to go, do that, that next step. And we're ready. So that can also be, part of it. And I love that. And I love that you also described that people, in that description is all sorts of things happen. Yeah. But also they're doing it in their own time. I love that. The life activation always works from where the individual is.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So what would you say about the life activation? Obviously you do this for others now. What would you say? Who would benefit from the life activation? Would you recommend to all people or not to all people? Or, is it for people that are only spiritual? What would you say?
Well, first, a person always needs to be receptive to receiving healing. So that is a prerequisite. However, the life activation has become something that I think is helpful for anyone who is open to receive it, because it does provide that foundational piece. So I think that it's a fantastic healing to receive. And when somebody's asking me about it, I say, yep, there's a couple things that you can do to really help yourself energetically, regardless of what it is that you choose to do with it, where you're going, how you perceive your path, how you perceive your spiritual development. And the life activation is one of those pieces that's going to help you in many different ways. Energetic resiliency is incredibly important at this particular point in time. And that's one of the things that the life activation provides. It's just like, if we can do something for ourselves or for others that improves energetic resiliency with all of what we're dealing with at this particular juncture in time, then it is a really good and supportive thing.
I love it. Thank you so much. Our time has whizzed by. I know we could talk about the life activation forever because it's so, it's tremendous. And I know we would love to get you back on the show and talk about other things and other classes and sessions, because there's so much choice. So that would be great. Thank you very much for sharing your wisdom and your time today.
Thanks for having me. Yeah. See you again soon.
Yeah, see you again. And if you want a life activation, you can contact myself, Dr. Kate. You can contact any of us. Even if you're not close by, we'll get someone to you. We know people in over 55 countries, so we'll do our best. We'll do our best.
Totally.
Yeah. And so thank you for everyone for tuning in. Take care. See you next time.
Thank you. Bye-bye.